One of the most common things I hear people say when they quit drinking alcohol is at first, it's easy. But after a few weeks or months go by, alcohol starts to creep its way back into their thoughts. I also often hear people say that quitting is easy, but staying quit is the hard part. In this video, I explain why 99% of people fail at sobriety and how you can succeed. So why is it that so many people have such a hard time quitting alcohol? Why is this such a common theme amongst heavy drinkers? How could it be that it's easy to quit, but difficult to stay quit? Well, the reason it's easy to quit alcohol is because of why you quit alcohol. Chances are you quit alcohol because after years of abuse and torture, you finally hit rock bottom. You reached a point you could no longer tolerate the physical and emotional pain and suffering that alcoholism was torturing you with. You felt it in every single cell of your body. And it was this pain that gave you the strength to quit. And it's the same pain that gives you the strength to stay quit. But the problem is, as soon as you stop drinking, that pain starts to go away, which is obviously a good thing, but consequently, along with it, also goes your strength to stay quit. Imagine that suffering from alcoholism is like jumping into a cold ocean on a hot summer day. I mean like ice cold, like the water is about to freeze cold. When you are deeply submerged in that freezing cold water, it is easy to find the motivation to get the fuck out of the water, because it is borderline unbearable to endure. But once you get out of the water and dry off and lay back down on the nice warm sandy beach, and the sun starts to heat you back up again, after a while, a nice refreshing swim starts to seem pretty tempting again. But if you give in to that temptation and jump back in the water, you will immediately regret your decision. Because that nice refreshing feeling that you were tempted by will be very short-lived, as you are quickly reminded of how painful that freezing cold water was. It's easy to quit alcohol when it is currently feeding you excruciating pain. But after you quit, that pain goes away, and all that's left is a memory. And a memory of pain is a whole lot less painful than pain itself. And a memory of pain is a whole lot less motivating than pain itself. The pain you experienced from alcohol abuse doesn't have to be the only thing that motivates you to stay quit. But it probably is. And here's why. During your drinking career, you could have quit alcohol many different times in many different ways. But you weren't successful with any of them. The only thing that was powerful enough to motivate you to quit was pain. So why would anything other than pain motivate you to stay quit? If nothing else worked before, why would anything else work now? What motivated you to quit drinking is most likely going to be what motivates you to stay quit. If it was pain that motivated you to quit drinking, and the pain goes away when you stop drinking, how are you supposed to stay quit without that pain? This is why people fail at sobriety, because they lose their motivation. So to prevent this from happening, you have to maintain your motivation. I believe the best way to stay quit is to actively practice preventative maintenance. To actively do whatever it takes to remind yourself of where you're at and how far you've come. To remind yourself of where you used to be when you quit. To remind yourself of just how much pain alcohol brought into your life. To create a very clear, detailed image of yourself back then, when you were suffering from alcohol abuse, and to compare that image to yourself today. And then to actively use this comparison of self-growth as a defense against future appearances of alcohol. By doing this, what you'll find is that when alcohol creeps its way back into your life, and it will, you won't be blindsided by it. You won't be caught off guard. You'll be ready and waiting to knock it the fuck out. This is why programs like Alcoholics Anonymous work, because they are literally daily rituals, routines that you continue to live the rest of your life by, even after you quit drinking. I've known recovered alcoholics that have been sober for over 40 years that still go to weekly AA meetings. Why do you think that is? You'd think that after 40 years you'd be pretty good at saying no to alcohol, but the truth is, it doesn't matter how long it's been since your last drink. 40 years or 40 seconds. Your addiction to alcohol will continue to live in your head dormant, waiting for its opportunity to strike again. Alcohol is not a hobby that you can just drop off at the thrift store. It's a part of you that you created that will be a part of you for the rest of your life. And if you're not actively practicing preventative maintenance, it's only a matter of time before you inevitably relapse. Now, before I continue, like, subscribe, and don't forget the bell. And if you're enjoying this video, please leave me a comment. I want people to watch this video to take in what I have to say, but I also want them to be able to scroll down through the comments section and see all the insight that you guys have contributed. Your opinions matter a lot to me. What you have to say could literally change someone's life that's watching this video right now. So please, leave me a comment. The reason 99% of people fail at sobriety is because they don't practice preventative maintenance. They stray too far away from the path that they created when they quit drinking, and it sadly takes them relapsing to remind themselves of why they quit. In my opinion, the best way to quit alcohol and stay quit is to be part of or create a system of reminders. A system that will remind you of the path that you're on. A system that will remind you of the pain that alcohol has caused you and why you should continue to stay on that path. This could be anything from going to AA meetings to creating a list of affirmations that you read to yourself every morning. The bottom line is, if you don't remind yourself of the pain you experienced from alcohol, it's only a matter of time before you start getting reminded of the pleasure. And if you're not careful, soon you're gonna find yourself back in the freezing cold water, instantly regretting your decision.